is going on? Twitch.tv/IVE. It's your boy Dan, aka A-Drive. Alright guys, the first Elestrals tournament of 2024. We are here for the top cut, the final 8 teams throwing down, showing down with an epic set of clashes for you guys. I'm very excited about this. We have a special rule set for this event. Our first event of the year has a special rule set, and I am going to be telling you guys about the next couple events as well today, so a lot to be excited about. Today's special rule set is that you can only run one of each counter rune, so that's going to be interesting. Are we going to see some Karen's Ovals? Are we going to see, what are we going to see? Helios Chariot Ride. You only get one Gorgon's Gaze, you only get one Shield of Achilles, you only get one of those various counter runes, so that's going to make this pretty fun in my opinion, and a little bit different than kind of some of the stuff we've done in the past. And I know that a lot of people were like, wait a minute, is this going to be the norm moving forward? No, we were just trying something a little bit different, seeing, you know, kind of what the interest level was. But I'm very excited because, like I said, we have a lot to break down today, a lot to show off, a lot to talk about. So without further ado, if you see this on YouTube after the fact, definitely show some love. And of course, big shouts to all the homies here on the live stream. Here is where we are for our top cut bracket today. Cerebro, our #1 seed. Looks like they're throwing down against Snowman. You've got JyGein throwing down against SpicySausage, JacKyomu, and Sussy Ditto, which is JyGein, and Weathercaster throwing down against SpicySausage. And again, some very cool and unique decks coming this week, again, because of some of the changes to the format, right? With the counter runes being a little bit different than what we normally see. So very excited to see this throw down. I'm actually going to be grabbing the JyGein SpicySausage match first. I feel like I'm saying Jai's name wrong. I feel like I always mess it up. But that's going to be the clash that we're actually grabbing first, so I'm very excited for that. And before I go too much further here, I feel like it's really important that I show you guys the upcoming events, because I know a lot of people are asking for it. Boom, there you go. We've got, these are the next events. So I know a lot of people are asking, we need more events, A-Drive. We need to know when the events are. We need to plan things out. There is your upcoming schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some serious events, action-packed, locked and loaded, all the way through March. So I'm very excited. We're going to be stepping it up. Lots more events. We're going to keep it best of 3 top cut for now, but that may change as soon as April. So we're going to be alternating between webcam and digital for the next couple events, and it's going to be even more awesome than ever before. So this is as soon as next week, and we're going back to our standard constructed format. So wanted to get everyone updated, get everyone in the know and in the news and ready to rock. And I'll definitely throw that up on Discord as well, so that way people know what's going on there. I think this is the updated version. Did I get it right? I did. Full best of 3 top cut. That's it. Cool. So that's what we got going on. I'll throw that up there as well for the people in the Discord server. Now, we're going to be throwing down. I'm very excited for today. We're going to be throwing down in this event. So let me wait for my updated layout here. There it is. Let's switch over to the tournament side. The quarterfinals are throwing down. Let me snag this layout. Let me throw it on the screen for y'all. Boom. How's that look? Looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty darn good to me. I like it. I got to hide the other one, though. There it is. Look at that. Water versus wind. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. This should be very spicy. Should be very, very spicy. So before we dive in, I do want to just hop in and just chat with the competitors. I think they're all in a group getting ready to go. Looks like they are. Yep, there's everybody. I'm going to hop in and I'm going to say hi real quick. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I want to say, first off, thank you guys all for competing today. Congratulations on making it to top cut.
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. How have you guys enjoyed the format with just one of each counter rune?
It is
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I got to bring fun deck.
I'm very
I made it, so I'm
excited.
happy.
We're going to have some fun today. And again, big shouts to y'all for competing today. I just rolled out our new tournament schedule going all the way through March. We've got 5 events, 2 in February, 3 in March. It's going to be awesome. So I look forward to see you guys return for that. But we have a champion to crown for today. So we're going to get things kicked off. Jai, tell me how to say your name one more time.
JyGein.
JyGein. JyGein and SpicySausage are throwing down for our first clash. Let's kick off our top cut. Have some fun. Let's play some Elestrals. I look forward to seeing some awesome clashes.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go! All right. You see our competitors are fired up. I love it. Gets me so excited. So let's do it, man. We're gonna hop on and let's get it going. Let's see if the layout's gonna be nice and work with us. It's upside down, so I'm gonna need a fix on that one, KG. Flip it. So we're gonna get this one kicked off here. The layout is gonna be wrong at the moment, but we'll get it fixed, no problem. Looks like JyGein is gonna be kicking things off with a Nectar of the Gods to get it going here. This should be easy. I can swap this layout around in 2 seconds and it'll be fixed. Boom, look at that. Nice Nectar of the Gods play to get things kicked off. Let's get this music switched over. Let's actually go with the Atlantis battle theme here. Mustation gonna hit the field in big fashion with that 6 defense stat. And again, so interesting to see because there are only one of each counter rune, man. So you know once you burn a Gorgons, you're not gonna see it again. You know once you see that shield, there's not another one. Tsunami doesn't work against Jai. Very interesting stuff here if you're running water. You've got the follow-up Nectar of the Gods from Sausage, SpicySausage, the #1 Ampup fan. I love it. I love it. Let's see what they're going to be bringing to the table here after that Nog. They got to deal with a Mustation. I think we're going to see a lot of Invoke runes today, man. Lots of Earthquakes, lots of resting on your laurels. I want to see someone pop off with a Pandora's box. Those are the things I'm looking forward to. A Tornado. Oh, baby. That's going to blow back that face down rune and stop Jai's defensive strats here. What does Sausage have? They're running Wind. Is it going to be a Sorlet? It is. Now, Jai could choose to use Mustation's effect here, but that would be pretty ill-advised, and it's going to go down. Sorlet expends a Wind Spirit to change the position of Mustation. Mustation goes into attack position and then gets destroyed by the 5-attack Sorlet. Here comes Viscerus, though. Big Daddy Viscerus with its effect hitting 5 attack right now, and it can run over the Sorlet and then search the deck for another Viscerus and special cast it into defense. Now, whether Jai goes for that or not, we'll see. Opts to not, which tells me they have something in the back row that can handle whatever this Sorlet wants to do. Sorlet, a very, very strong Elestral. 5 attack makes it the highest attack for a 1-drop in the game. And its effect allowing you to change the position of Elestrals, super duper strong. Super duper strong. So let's see here what Sausage is going to do. They've got a couple different options, 4 cards in their hand. Aeolus is going to hit the field. Aeolus gets them the opportunity to load this bad boy up with Wind Spirits and then search their deck for any one of their Wind Elestrals. They're going to only go for the 2 here. You can actually go up to 5 total on Aeolus. The 1 to cast, 4 to enchant. You go up to 5. That gives you 2 searches. But he's going to grab the P-Gust here. Seems like Rune Control is a big strategy for Sausage here. Having this opportunity to potentially pop that back row and then use Sorlet's effect to change Viscerus to defense and then run it over is really good. Here comes the Tsunami as a response, but that does not stop the Sorlet. If anything, I think that might have been a misplay. It looks like they might change their mind. Are they taking that one back? I guess not. I guess that Tsunami is going to play. Oh, yeah, they're taking it back. So Jai says, you know what? That was actually not what I wanted to do. So they're going to be forced to expend with the Sorlet. That's a smart play. P-Gust is able to attack directly. The reason you don't want to do that is the Tsunami would change the P-Gust to defense position, but Sorlet wasn't cast this turn. So Sorlet still has the freedom to switch back into attack position. And then the Viscerus is in defense, and then you end up being a difference of 2 spirits versus, because you would have spent the 1 on Tsunami and not forced the Sorlet to spend 1, whereas in this case, you at least forced the Sorlet to spend 1. Nectar of the Gods hits. Here comes Viscerus. Does Sausage have the back row to deal with this? That P-Gust is prime target here for Viscerus to run through. Earthquake's gonna hit the field and shatter the Sorlet. Generally, I tend to think that a lot of times you want to play that EQ first because there's an opportunity here where you could Nexus away from something, maybe pull some shenanigans, right? If Sausage is running Altar of Stars, they could have Nexus off of the Sorlet onto the P-Gust, change the Viscerus to position. In this case, it didn't end up mattering. But sometimes, you know, you always want to think about that. Elestrals, it's so strategic about whether you want to play your Elestral first, or you want to play your Rune first, or how you want to go about that, because it can really make the difference of a win or a loss, really. But we're going to see no back row from JyGein. We're going to see the Tsunami come down. Both casters getting their Tsunami here in the early game. The P-Gust in defense doesn't have any runes to pop. That Viscerus in defense, not a high defense stat. Should be pretty easy to run over if Sausage has any Elestrals. This is where, the Hydrake, he does have the Hydrake, so no problems here. Hydrake's going to be able to take out the Viscerus. not an issue. And then Pigas can hit directly for just a little bit of chip damage there, just a one-hitter into the Spirit deck. And that's going to put Sausage in a really, really good spot. That's what I have to say about that. Let's take a peek here at the chat. Just a good luck, have fun. Nothing too crazy there. Thank you again for everybody who's been showing their love, subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate that. JyGein going to draw. They've got 4 cards in hand. They're going to set a face-down counter rune. We know it's not Tsunami. Cerebral making a splash in the game right here. Cerebral, one of the Frostfall Elestrals. This is a 2/2 drop that actually allows you to reveal the face-down runes, and if they're not counters, they are gone. What incredible tech from JyGein. I love that so much. What a play. Oh my goodness. Let me reevaluate what just happened. Cerebral is a new Elestral that comes out in Frostfall, our second set, but it's in our mobile app right now for you guys to try. We added a handful of cards that way. It's got a really unique effect where it looks at all of the face-down runes that your opponent has, and if any of them are not counter runes, they're gone. It just so happened that Sausage had 2 non-counter runes as bluffs face down and got both of them wrecked. What a crazy play from JyGein. I love seeing the Cerebral at this stage of the game. I honestly, I'll be real, I forgot that was even a thing because it's not out yet, right? It's only in the app for these fun tournaments. So big hypes there. We're gonna see 2 hits coming off here. JyGein needs something to come back. That Hydrake is gonna get ever scarier. I'll tell you what, here comes a Foamy. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're JyGein. Foamy does have the ability to pick up the Astrabit if the face down rune is not a counter, then can search out and get something out. Here comes an Ambrosia that's going to allow JyGein to get a little bit more health back, regenning 3 spirits, grabbing an Earth and 2 water. Peculiar, that tells me they're trying to set up for something, maybe a Viscerus again, a 3rd one, or perhaps trying to set up for an Earthquake. There is the hit. Foamy crashes into Astrabit. That's going to allow JyGein to search their deck for any 1-cost water Elestral and cast it in defense. I'm almost certain we're going to see a Mestation here. That's exactly what we see pulled. Mestation is the perfect pick because the key right now is to not allow Hydrate to get its effect off. And Mestation provides that defensive presence with 6 defense that prevents Hydrate from being able to do anything to it as long as it remains in defense position. Let's see what we got here. There's an Earthquake. The Earth shatters. Tectorus slams into the ground. And down goes the Mestation. Hydrake is free to attack directly. And another Hydrake hits the field. And this is going to be a tough position for JyGein to get back from. A Poison-Tipped Arrow hits that first Hydrake. That's going to be big, but this is a huge Spirit swing here, right? Because you're still taking 2 damage from the 2 Hydrakes, and then you're paying 2 on the Poison-Tipped Arrow. This is going to bring JyGein down to 4 spirits left. This is where the top deck comes in. You've only got 1 chance to get back in this. You got to get something big here. Honestly, I'm not even sure what JyGein's out is. Maybe a Viscerus? There's the Viscerus! This could be the window that JyGein needed, but doesn't have any Viscerus left, I don't think. I think we saw the other 2 already. The Viscerus is going to take out the Hydrake, which is going to immediately cast out a Twindra. You chop off 1 head, and 2 grow back. Here comes Twindra to the field with 5 attack. Now, that does tie with Viscerus. Again, I'm pretty sure JyGein already used the 2 Viscerus they had, so I'm not sure if we're going to see another one. Yes, both Viscerus are in the Underworld, so we're going to see that pass. These 2 casts are down to the very last plays here. The thing is, though, if JyGein's face down rune is not anything that can stop this Twindra, Twindra can crash into Viscerus right now and special cast out Penterror, and that would be it. That would be it. But gonna go for the expend, which means the Penterror is no longer a play unless there's an Ambrosia hitting the field. Oh my gosh. I feel like you had the window there of just crash your Twindra. Gonna go for the Earth cast on the A list that tells me there's an Altar of Stars? Is that what's going on? Oh my gosh, this is a crazy finish here. It is the Altar of Stars. Going to go Altar of Stars off the Twindra, Nexus onto it, change the Viscerus to defense position, and minimize their risk. Very interesting play there. That was a very, very interesting play there. Great use of misenchanting on that, and it's a Shield of Achilles. Oh my goodness. A huge play, Shield of Achilles. Gonna bounce it back, and now Viscerus is all by itself. It's Pandora's Box JyGein. is gonna take round 1 of the quarterfinals against SpicySausage. What a crazy clash that one was. And picking up the Earthquake at the end when it doesn't matter. My goodness, that was a crazy, crazy clash, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout outs there. JyGein holds it down. That Shield of Achilles was so clutch. I don't know if Sausage could have done anything there at the end, right? You're going up against a Shield of Achilles. You don't know that. The Twinger could have went for it. I think, was there only one spirit? Maybe there's a world where I don't know. That was intense. The Shield of Achilles was ready to bounce the Twindra and prevent it from doing anything. Wow. I did have a cool point I was going to make. Yeah, so we're just going to flip this layout real quick, and then we'll be good to go. And we'll get this party started here for round 2. I think we're good to go. Looks like Spicy is going to be kicking this one off and making it happen. So the point I wanted to make is we're actively testing set 4 right now, which is crazy to say out loud. And I know, you know, we're like, wait a minute, first edition isn't even officially available yet for people. And I get it, right? So like that's the crazy part about things. But one of the things that I gotta say is it's so fun to see what happens when these cards get out into hundreds and thousands of people's hands versus the couple dozen people who are actively testing, right? Because we're playing a lot of games. I can tell you in the last like 2 weeks alone, I've got like 200 games of testing set 4. Like I play like crazy. I know you guys are probably like, wait, I never see him play the app that much, but I'm always playing. It's just I'm playing, you know, on our secret testing stuff. So I gotta say, it's really cool to see kind of how these cards are gonna function once they're out and people are playing and people have all these different opportunities to come up with cool strategies and stuff, because we think of a lot of things, but we can only think of so much here. There's the Cerebral again, and it reveals the Gorgon's Gaze and the Altar of Stars. Sausage kicked off with the Nectar of Gods into Astrabbit, so really, really good hand advantage there. Really good start there, but this Cerebral is going to get some good knowledge. Jai now knows what 2 of those face downs are. Obviously doesn't hit any of them. Probably Spicy learned their lesson after that first one. Yeah, I probably should not set my invokes down anymore if I can avoid it. So obviously Cerebral gets to do its thing and gets a little bit of insight there. Just the pass there, obviously not able to make any sort of advancements. P-Gus comes down. This thing is a menace. It's gonna pop that face down, and it's a resting on your laurels. Ooh, JyGein really needed that one. Let me tell you, that's a tough one to lose, because now P-Gus and Astrabbit can pressure the Cerebral. You can crash one of them, or you can just wait, right? We got some baby Elestrals out here, only 2 attack on these, so they're not gonna be doing a ton of damage, but getting rid of that resting is big, because that's gonna prevent the, you know, the Elestral destruction on the following turn, right? Especially if there was a crash or something stronger. You know, we talk about kind of bluffing, we talk about setting runes face down to bluff, but when we're up against a P-Gus like this, that's a tough place to be. That's definitely a tough place to be. So not what you want to see. Nebby, definitely join our Discord server. We just announced our tournament structure, by the way, for the upcoming events. I think is this it? Is that the one? Yep, this is the event right there. I'll show you guys. Oh, it's a little off, but we see another Nectar of the Gods hit the field. I'll show you guys after this one. Nectar of the Gods hits the field. Lots of card advantage for Sausage. That's going to give them the opportunity to have a hand of 5 here. So plenty of opportunities there. But are they going to pressure this Cerebral, or are they going to let it sit there? They're going to go for it. So P-Gus going to crash into the Cerebral. They're both going to go down. And Astrabbit's going to remain in defense position. Which I'm surprised that we didn't see Sausage pressure with a rabbit there, just because you know they have like Gorgons and stuff. But we're going to see the Nectar of the Gods hit the field. That's going to give Jai an opportunity to draw 2. Nog's still in full force. I know there's been a lot of debate in the metagame about whether Nog is really worth running or any of that. I can tell you that I'm still running it in set 4 testing. It's really cool to see a lot of these cards. They still have functionality. I know a lot of people talk about the development of card games and power creep and stuff. And I can say, while certain things do get stronger and I think the game gets faster as the sets come out, in terms of like the strategies you can employ. The gameplay definitely speeds up. Ascensions are more valid and things like that. But we have not invalidated the original cards. Like the cards in first edition and base set, many of them are still very, very viable, even testing set 4 now, which is really cool. So I love that. I think that's a huge win for everybody, and I think that it's great building blocks and foundation of where we're at and where we're going. All super positive stuff. Big shout out to all the subs, by the way. Jubilant, Fortune's Rage, 105, man. Thank you, Fortunes. And Mater, my man Mater. with the 55. I have zero plans of playing that game, Worf. Sorry, man. So Ur Scout hits the field. Ur Scout, obviously the bear, the Ursa bear, that allows you to search for more Ursa bears. So interesting. We know Jai is running this kind of water deck. We saw the Cerebral, but they've got the bear. I wonder what kind of bear strategy they're running. Was this a side deck option? Did they tech in side deck bears? I'm not sure. Andy, thanks for the 47. I appreciate that. Thank you guys all for the sub love. If you guys want to support, the best way to support A Drive or Elestrals, shop elestrals.com. Get your pre-orders in for first edition if you haven't done so yet. We got booster boxes available, all sorts of good stuff. Here comes the Hydrake from SpicySausage, man. Hydrake puts on a tremendous amount of pressure and it can obviously clear this Earth Scout. The question will be, what is JyGein's answer to this? Is JyGein looking to float this into a water enchant? Like, are you gonna float out another Earth Scout with water so you can ascend? The Gorgon's Gaze is going to prevent any sort of shenanigans there. Really good strategy from SpicySausage. Gorgon's Gaze does a few things in the game. It does seemingly everything. But in this context, it's going to negate Earth Scout's effect, so it is unable to search. So, yes, Wink, I didn't move recently, but I completely overhauled my office, and I flipped the desk around and everything. So everything's back. I'm in the same house I've been in since 2020. I don't know, in the middle of COVID. I forget what year it was. 21, I think, is when I moved here. 21, 20, something like that. Another Earth Scout hits the field. Earth Scout again has the opportunity to float into another one. Here comes the poison-tipped arrow, though. Sausage is ready to rock. They've got all the counters they need to deal with JyGein's defensive approach here. And I think I'm on to what JyGein is trying to do. Utilizing things like Foamy and Earth Scout to float into another Elestral to give them an opportunity to ascend into something stronger. Here's the Earthquake. That's going to clear the Hydrake. That's big. That's actually really big because now you remove the threat of Penterror, at least for the immediate future. There's always the chance of another Hydrake to come out, but that's not too bad. Poison-tipped arrow is going to deal with the Earth Scout and make that no longer a problem. We're going to see what the plan is here. See what's next. Just give me a second. I got to pull up my son's baby monitor. He's going to go for his nap, and I'm pulling dad duties because we always out here. We're doing it. SpicySausage has the opportunity to make some big moves here. An empty field, down a few spirits, but does have the rabbit on the field. Here comes the Aeolus. That means you can grab anything you want. This is an opportunity to do a lot of damage. If they go for the Exaltair here, this would be huge because Exaltair could come out to the field. You can Nexus 2 onto it. You can burn for 2. You could essentially hit for a total of 6 spirits right here, right now. There is the Exaltair. We're going to see it. Exaltair is going to hit the field. The choice is, do you Nexus 1 or do you Nexus 2? I kind of like the 2 here because you know you have Altar of Stars, so you're protected from at least one attack. But I can understand why you would only... Oh, he does go for 2. Okay. I was going to say, I can see the argument on either side there. Going to go full offensive. This is a hit for 6 spirits. Sausage has loaded up the field, but I will say this. We're not... Oh, that's a big Ambrosia. I was going to say, we're not out of the woods yet, though. Jai still has more spirits. After this big hit, they're going to take 4 more. They're still going to have more spirits. And we know that Jai has one of the best offensive Elestrals in the game, which is Viscerous. We know they're running 3 Viscerous. Anytime Viscerous hits the field, it is a threat. The problem here, we know that Sausage has an Altar of Stars. That is the problem. What's up, Hands? Big resting on your laurels. That's going to clear the Astrabbit. That's big. Is there another Laurels? No, it's Mustation. So Mustation, one of the few Elestrals that isn't going to care if it ends up in defense position when all is said and done here. This could be huge to pressure. The problem is, if you do not get rid of this Exaltair right now, it's going to burn you again on the next turn. And if it continues to do that, it's going to be very difficult. So if you're Sausage, yeah, you could alter here to save your Exaltair, which I think you 100% do if your other face down route isn't relevant. There's the Altar of Stars. So they're going to basically stop the Mustation here this time around. But don't forget, Mustation has 6 defense. An interesting choice as well. I'm not sure I understand why you're Nexusing onto the Exaltair here, unless you're going to ascend it or you have another Elestral guaranteed lined up. That may prove to be a big misplay. you could have Nexus back to the Aelys, which would have given you another search, which could have searched out Sorlet and guaranteed the game, I think. Actually, it would have. If you Nexus back to Aelys, he's gonna go for the Nog. I feel like that was a misplay. And you guys know, listen, I don't have all the context. I don't know what that other face down rune is. I don't know what in the hand. But I think on that Altar of Stars, you Nexus onto the Aelys, you give yourself another search, you grab Sorlet, you play the Sorlet, you change the Exalt or the Mastatian to attack, you Nexus with Exaltair to burn for 2, and then I actually think you're doing enough damage. I think you're probably winning at that point, or at least bringing JyGein down to 1 spirit. I'm a little surprised. Here comes a Hydrake. Gonna continue the pressure with Hydrake. Gonna be able to burn at least for 2 here, which is big. Gonna be able to go for that Nexus and hit for 2 spirits. But again, I feel like this could have been a much more monumental play if they save that Aelys, because then again, you get the free Sorlet, and Sorlet puts on so much pressure there, right? It's an expensive play, don't get me wrong. You'd be down to less spirits, but at the same time, Jai would have been down to very little, right? Probably only 1 spirit with no Elestrals. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. 3 face down for Sausage. Is an opportunity here for Sausage to try to fight out and get to a game 3. Viscerous hits the field. That's exactly what you want if you're JyGein, to fire off an attack. You can take out that Exaltair. You gotta get rid of that Exaltair. Let's see it. Let's see the pressure. You gotta believe that Sausage has something face down. We haven't seen their Shield of Achilles. We haven't seen their Tsunami. There's gonna be Expend for the Mastatian. Mastation's gonna get an attack buff. So Mastatian now has 6 attack for this turn, putting it all on the line. Can JyGein clutch this one up? Those 3 face down runes are very scary. Here comes the attack for Viscerous. Will we see a Shield of Achilles or a Tsunami here? No! The Exaltair goes down, and Viscerous is able to proc its effect and get a second Viscerous to the field in defense position. Now the question here is, does the Mastatian attack the Hydrake here to force out the Twindra? If you do that, Sausage is not going to be able to get out Penterror. They're not going to have enough spirits to do that. Does the Mastatian go after the I feel like you do. The problem is, if the Twindra comes out and then gets enchanted again and attacks the Mastatian, JyGein actually loses. So maybe you can't do that in hindsight, right? Like, so what I'm trying to explain is, if Mastatian knocks out Hydrake, then Twindra comes out with 2 spirits on it. If Twindra attacks Mastatian at that point, JyGein loses their last spirit, which is fine. But if you enchant the Twindra to get 3 spirits, which you can do, it doesn't matter. They can do it right now. If JyGein, or if Sausage just enchants Hydrake with a spirit and attacks Mastatian, this game's over. So I think we're going to a game 3 here. I don't know if Sausage sees that, but that's the win right there. Just enchant the Hydrake with 1 more spirit, attack the Mastatian, and you win the game. Oh man, tell me they don't see it. Oh my gosh. So in Elestrals, you can have 0 spirits and continue the play if you have spirits on field. But if you get hit for more than hitting you to 0, like if you have 0 and you get hit, that's exactly the play. There it is. Okay. I'm like jumping out of my chair right now. And that's going to be game. SpicySausage is going to take game 2 here. And we're going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Good play there from Sausage. That basically put, the Earthquake was there too, Tornado. They basically put Jai in a situation where they weren't able to come back. The Tadpub there is interesting. Lots of stuff for Sausage. They had everything they needed there at the end. Jeez. Woo! We're going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's hard for me to be like unbiased as a commentator and not jump out of my shoes, because I get so excited. I'm like, oh my god, I want to see this play. Do the play. I'm glad these people playing can't hear me, because I would ruin everything. For sure. 1-1. Jai is going first. A little bit of good luck, have fun's going on. And let's see what we got here. An Expend to draw to kick things off. So in Elestrals, you do have the freedom to mulligan, which is always an option. You can basically trade your hand for 2 spirits and get a new hand. Or you can just Expend to draw. I think that's a really nice bit of gameplay function in Elestrals. A lot of card games, they struggle where you get to a situation where you either have an advantage or you're at a disadvantage, and you just need to keep drawing. And Elestrals gives you the freedom to do that. It does come at a cost though, right? Like you're paying 1 spirit to draw a card, and you're also unable to normal cast for the turn. But in a situation like this with Jai, like, you know, you spend that 1 spirit, yeah, you don't get to cast, but it's turn 1, not a huge deal. You're getting that extra card that may be the combo piece you're looking for. Like we've seen a little bit of what Jai's deck is trying to do, which seems to be floating and then potentially ascending into something bigger. You know, they haven't been able to get that off. Here comes the Earth Scout. Earth Scout does enable that strategy. The thing is Sausage has had enough invoke removal up to this point that they've been able to stop that. And the one time we almost saw the Earth Scout go off, we saw it get Gorgon's Gazed, right? So another card goes face down here with this Elechick. Was able to search out that Divine. Yeah, Julian, you know it. And now Elechick has free reign to knock out this Earth Scout, or we'll see some invoke play here. Earthquake's still the dominant invoke rune. Here comes an Astraba into defense. Huge plays there. That allows you to look at the top 3 of your deck and grab one of them. One of the keys to Astraba that makes it so good is you do not need to reveal that card to your opponent, right? Which is so good. The fact that you don't have to show your opponent is just so good. Yeah, Astraba is just so good, dude. One of the best cards in the game, and it's not going to change either. Earth Scout does go down. It has the freedom to float now. I want to see what Jai's plan is. Is this going to be a water enchanted Earth Scout? It is a water enchanted Earth Scout, man. I'm so excited for what's about to happen. I got my Stellar Quackle shirt on. Let's go. What do you got for me, Jai? JyGein, show me something. You got a water Earth Scout on the field. That's not a water bear. And before set 7 leaks, it does have sound, Yugi. You gotta turn on your volume. We're gonna see another rune set. There's the Gorgon's Gaze, the early Gorgon's Gaze. Interesting play. That's gonna prevent the Ascension, actually. So once an Ascension is declared in Elestrals, you actually can't Gorgon's Gaze the pre-Ascension. It's too late at that point. But but you can Gorgon's Gaze before the Ascension. You did, maybe it doesn't work. Oh, for some reason the music's not working. Okay, we'll have to check that. Tailwinds, can you message in a staff chat for Steve and just ping him and let him know that there's an issue? Thank you. All right, so the Gorgon's Gaze is going to stop any sort of an Ascension here. Very proactive play there from Sausage. A little risky, right? Because if Jai's plan was not to ascend, then you kind of wasted your Gorgons. But if the plan was to ascend, then you make it a really good play, right? Here comes Aeolus. If you're Sausage, I feel like you go all in on Exaltair here personally. But let's see what they're going to do. They're not going to do that. They're going to disenchant off. What are they going for? They're going to go P-Gust. Okay. I can respect that. P-Gust is going to be able to pressure some of those face down runes. Facing down 3 of them, so I can see why you want to get rid of them. Let's see what the target's going to be. I would go after the left one. That's the one they go for. It's a Shield of Achilles. That's the one I would have picked too. Okay. Shield of Achilles out of the play, out of the equation. If you're Sausage, that makes you feel a lot happier. Tornado's gonna bounce another one. So 2 runes getting blown back. There's no response, and all of a sudden only 1 rune left. A lot of times in Elestrals, the name of the game is just maintaining field presence and pressure, and they're gonna do just that here. One hitter into the Spirit deck. And Jai's gonna draw and look to make some pressure here. All right, so opting to swap their expend around. Here comes a Foamy. Choosing not to crash, just put the Foamy into defense. And a Resting on Your Laurels can hit any of the 3. Going for the P-Gust. What's the win condition of Elestrals? The win condition of Elestrals is to knock your opponent down to 0 spirits and then hit them again, basically. Or to knock them to -1 spirit, right? So you can hit them to 0 spirits and then not be able to hit them again, but they can't do anything at that point and they'll forfeit. You can also win by deck out as well, but you know, I would say 99% of games are won by forcing your opponent to go to 0 spirits and then not be able to make any further plays, or hitting them while they have 0 spirits to basically secure the game. The thing that makes Elestrals very interesting, though, compared to a lot of other card games, is the spirits are your life, right? They're what keep you in the game, like your life points in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or your prize cards in Pokemon. But they're also your mana or your energy. They're the same thing. They allow you to play your cards. So in this case here, Jai plays the Earthquake. It costs them 2 spirits to get rid of Hydrake, which costs 1 spirit to play. And here comes Javalantis! Oh my gosh, Javalantis hits the field. And Javalantis is a big boy. When this thing destroys a defense position Elestral, you're forced to take 3 spirits of damage. The Elechick gets obliterated. Will there be a counter response from SpicySausage here? Javalantis, the Shield of Achilles. Oh, baby. And the Javalantis gets blown back. That costs 3 spirits to do, right? So that's what makes Elestrals so special, in my opinion, is this back and forth. To gain field advantage, you have to use your spirits. Spirits on field are different than spirits in your spirit deck and in your underworld. When they're on field, they're still usable by your invoke and counter runes, as well as using effects with your Elestrals as well. So it's very important that you use that resource very, very intelligently. That's huge. Here comes the Expend. We're going to see the Exaltair come out. This could actually deal a lot of damage. If Exaltair hits the field, it can burn for 2, hit for 3, and then you see 2 more. If my math is correct, that's 7 spirits of damage in this turn that JyGein may be facing. We know they don't have Tsunami face down anymore. Here comes Exaltair. Is there an answer? We need a Gorgon's Gaze if you're JyGein real bad right now. I love the Javalantis play. I love the Javalantis play. Oh my gosh. Let's see it. They're going to go for the Nexus onto the Elechick, which I do like. I think that's a smart decision. And then an Ambrosia to heal a little bit. So one fun fact, and I think they're going to do it right now, actually. You can use spirits on the field. No, they're not going to do it. You can use spirits on the field to cast your invoke and counter runes. So they could have taken one of the spirits off the Elechick here to use the Ambrosia. So there's some really cool nuance gameplay actions that you can do to Elestrals that I think make it really special. But to kind of recap Yugi, the kind of bread and butter is you're utilizing these spirits to gain board state, to advance in board state, to prevent your opponent from advancing in board state. But as you do that, you get closer and closer to losing the game too, right? So some decks are like very all in your face. They use a lot of spirits right away. They push the board really quickly, but they're very susceptible to having the board flipped on them or being caught off guard by like eruptions in the late game that burn you and things like that. Some decks play really slow and they go more defensive. Some decks are more tempo based. Some decks are more aggro. So there's a lot of really cool stuff there. You know, I think it's very, very fun. We've got an Ambrosia here coming in. That's gonna regen 3 spirits. That's huge. They're right back in this game. If you're JyGein, you need like a Foamy here. There's an Earthquake. That's pretty big. That's gonna take out potentially the Elechick or the Exaltair. I'm not sure which one. Thank you, Mr. Mad. It's gonna be the Exaltair, so they know they have to prevent the burn. Let's see what the play is gonna be here. It's gonna be a Viscerus. If Viscerus can take out the Elechick, that could be huge. Going to go after the Astrabit, hits it, but JyGein has no more spirits to go. If you're Sausage, all you need is some removal here. You just need a way to change the position. A Sorlet wins you the game. Sorlet it is! Sorlet's gonna seal the deal. Sorlet hits the field. It's gonna use its active effect to change the position of Viscerus by expending 1 spirit. That's gonna change Viscerus to defense, and then Elechick can seal the deal by attacking directly. GG's SpicySausage takes this one in the quarterfinals and is gonna be moving to the semis, ladies and gentlemen. Huge plays there. The big turning point of this one, guys, was the Shield of Achilles play onto that Javalantis. If that Javalantis gets that hit off, SpicySausage is in a really bad spot. So big shout outs there. With our limited format, only 1 of each counter rune having the Shield of Achilles at the exact time they needed it. That's going to be GG's. Congratulations, SpicySausage, for taking this one, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get this party started. The semifinals kicking off right here, right now. JacKyomu throwing down against Weathercaster. Very excited for this one. Let's go. Let's do it. This is a best of 3 clash, and again, we have a special rule set for this event where each caster can only use 1 of each counter rune. In Elestrals, you're allowed to use 3 of each card. However, Counter runes have dominated the format since the introduction of Elestrals, and I'll talk to that design space in a little bit here. But we wanted to try something a little different, and you guys voted on the format, so we are only one of each counter rune, so only one Gorgon's Gaze, one Shield of Achilles, one Poison Tipped Arrow, etc. Now you might say, hey Drav, why are counter runes so strong? And I'll be honest with you. One of my design philosophies when I created Elestrals, I created the base set of Elestrals, was I felt that if every card was OP, then nothing was OP. If every card was good, then nothing was too good. That was a big part of what I wanted to build. I wanted to build a game that every card, or at least most cards that you could get, would have some sort of viability. And you may not see that viability today, right? Like there's cards that may not see a lot of play right now, but will probably see more play in the future. There's some exceptions. I think Gadable's pretty bad. But I wanted to create a game that allowed a lot of these cards to exist. And to do that, I also wanted to kind of set the stage with the resources that allowed the game to be dynamic from its first set. Like when I think back to some of the other card games that inspired me when I was a kid, those games were very simple. Like when you look at, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! In its infancy, there was no effect monsters. They were just attack and defense stats, and that's it. And that's how the game was for the beginning, you know, the first set. I did not want that, right? I wanted to have a game that was like very cohesive, that you could kind of play out of the box from the first set and see what it was about. And I think that that was so important for us, right? Because if I rolled out a game where there was no effects and it was just attacking, like no one would want to play that, right? In this day and age, it's a lot. This is 20 something years later, right? So I wanted to create a game that had a lot of really, really viable cards, and I wanted to have the foundation for the game exist. So the counter runes that you see today, your Gorgon's Gaze, your Poison Tipped Arrow, your Shield of Achilles, those Tsunami, those cards are still viable and very much used in future sets. You know what I mean? And maybe in hindsight, I could have spaced them out a little bit more if I had a little bit more foresight, but I'm the first one to admit I'm not perfect either, right? Like, I've never made a card game before. I'm making it as I go. I'm getting better at it, which is good, right? Like, I think you're going to see that in the future sets of the game. You're going to see that I've gotten significantly better at it, and I think that's super exciting. I think you guys are going to really dig it. So we don't have any non-effect cards, Yugi, actually. We have no non-effect cards. All of our Elestrals have effects. However, you can misenchant Elestrals so they don't have an effect. So you can give them the wrong spirit. So let's catch up on Jack here. He's got his Hydrake out. He Earthquake the Astravit, gets the Exaltair to the field, has the A-List. Nexus is on the Hydrake. He's going to hit for 2 here, and then he's going to attack for 4. That's 6 spirits on this turn, dealing damage. Important to note, no back row. If you're Weathercaster, you're running Thunder, there's a lot of things you can do here. You know, there's a lot of cards that you can pull out of your hat. Mount Olympus with like a Spark It allows you to run stuff over. You got some options. There's a lot of options here. Jolton. Jolton would be really nice right now. Toxion could be decent. Earthquake's real nice. That's a great trade. When you can trade an Earthquake on an Elestral like Hydrake, that's amazing. The app is very much so manual right now, Yugi. We're still kind of working on the automatic side. We have a few effects that'll work automatically if you hit the setting. But generally speaking, the app is very manual. I think in some ways it's a positive right now though for us, because it kind of encourages you to learn the game, like if you were to play with physical cards, which I think is a win in this early stage. The goal is to have an app that is fully automated though in the future. So that just comes with time, money, development, etc. So the Elechick hits the field. It is going to be a full field flip, but JacKyomu running wind with Viserys. No doubt about that. Viserys is going to get a huge advantage here as it's going to clear the Elechick and search out another Viserys to go into defense position on the field. Viserys is one of the whoa, he pushed that one a little fast. Viserys is one of the premier attackers in Elestrals. So when you can have it hit the field, wait, why was there no Viserys pull there? I'm a little confused. Maybe Jack doesn't have another one or chooses not to? I'm a little surprised. Did I miss something? Maybe he doesn't have another one? No Vis effect? Maybe trying to avoid resting on your laurels? That's the only thing I can think of. Trying to avoid getting hit with the laurels? I don't know. Decline to activate. Okay, so our judge in the chat, hi Bo. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Thanks for doing everything you do. Opting to not activate. I think the only logic I could see there is saying, I don't want my opponent to use resting on your laurels. Now you would probably want to go for it because you have a little bit more opportunity here to protect yourself. So Viscerous is going to hit the Stravit. The Sorlet position change is big there. Sorlet very, very menacing. Will the Viscerous activate this time? Let's find out. Yes. So this time JacKyomu does go for the Viscerous play. It makes me wonder if Jack had another Viscerous in hand and they felt that it was worth waiting. That's a scenario I can envision. We do have our own sleeves, Yugi. Yeah. You can see them on our website, shopelestrals.com. So, interesting play. So, there is the resting on your laurels. So, Jack is a very, very top tier player, one of the best Elestrals players in the world, and makes some good choices there. Recognize that there was a high likelihood of a resting on your laurels. It's actually so high that there was 2 of them. So, it ends up being all for naught anyway. The Laurels comes out. Resting on your Laurels is a premier removal card in Elestrals. It's a card that allows you to destroy an Elestral that has the lowest spirits on the field, but it only works if your opponent has 2 or more spirits than you do. So in this case, it's great for Weathercaster because they have no field, right? So they have no spirits on field, and Jack had 3 at the time. It does not work, though, if you have a lot of spirits on field. So if you're running a deck that really focuses on divine usage, it's not as good. I think in this limited format, it makes sense. People running 3 of because you don't have the counter runes to protect you as much. So you really need the invoke removal. So it's not surprising to see that. So, oh, let me mod you, Tailwinds. And then you'll be good to go. I don't know how to do this. Let me see if I can figure this out. See if that worked. And then I'll mod you too, Red Baron. There you go. Cool. So we see the thunderstorm hit. That hit a Laurels face down. Here comes Sparkit Destruction. Sparkit's going to Nexus off the Zeus. That's going to allow... Wait, why did the Zeus vanish? I don't know. But that's going to allow him to pick a card off the hand. What does Jai have in their hand? A Sorlet. And I think you're going for the Sorlet. And a P-Gust. You're going for that Sorlet all day. Going for the Sorlet all day. I don't know why the Zeus is gone, though. I'm a little confused about that part. But either way, I think the Zeus is still there. This may be a glitch, not related to the app, but actually because I'm viewing a spectator. So this may be like a spectator glitch. We'll assume the Zeus is still there. So let's see here. The Sparkit forcing so much pressure. The P-Gus can come down and get rid of the Zeus and prevent Sparkit from being able to Nexus potentially on the next turn, but I'm a little confused. Let's see here. There we go. All right, Jack. And by the way, these 2 players are in voice chat, so they're probably, interacting with each other there to kind of discuss some of these plays. So let's see what Jack's got in store for us right now. Looks like they're shuffling around. There's the Zeus. Okay, are we rewinding a little bit here? Let's see. Let me listen in, maybe. Oh, there's the... Okay, so there's the Nexus. So I don't know why Zeus keeps going to the underworld. I'm confused about that part. This might be like some sort of visual glitch.
So I cast Zeus,
to Sparkit. It had 1
and then I cast Sparkit.
total, and we Nexus the 1 away. It was only enchanted with 1.
Yeah, I didn't
Gotcha.
put any on it.
There's 2 Thunder on Sparkit and 4 Spirits left in Spirit Deck.
Okay.
Correct.
Stream is seeing a graphical error. Then it looks like
Yeah,
because there's
That happens when you drag cards manually.
Well,
unfortunately.
Okay, my bad.
All right, so we do have a little bit of a visual error. It seems like that Zeus is not there, which is fine. It seems like the casters are discussing it. Sometimes when you manually drag cards in the app instead of ooh, a misenchanted Hydrake. That's interesting. That's not going to get its effect. Is going to be able to clear the Sparkit though, but not going to be able to cast out a Twindra. And going to take a Spirit of damage here. Let's see what Weathercaster's got going on. No, Yugi. Our starter decks are 20. Yep. Weathercaster firing off a Viscerous right here, right now. That's going to be big. That's going to put a lot of pressure on. Jack is going to be looking for a Sorlet here to get out of this. We know they have a P-Gust. Do they have a Sorlet, though? The Viscerous so strong, so menacing. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully one day, Yugi, that's the plan. Gonna go for the expend the draw. So basically hoping to pull like a Tsunami here or an Ambrosia. Does have a face down. Weathercaster gets to draw. If they have an Elestral here and there's no response, they're gonna walk away with this one. Here comes Spark It as an Earth Enchanted Spark It. If these two Elestrals are able to hit, this game is over. Jack needs a Tsunami. It's the only thing that saves him, and it's not gonna save him. Weathercaster takes game 1 of this best of 3. Whew. That was a game. That was a game. My goodness. JacKyomu and Weathercaster throwing down. Weathercaster up 1-0 in this one. JacKyomu obviously getting the opportunity to go first. Let's get some Mount Olympus music for this one. Our incredible musician Tailwinds making all the music for Elestrals. We've got our own tracks. And they're such good tracks too. Let's see what we got here. Astrabit, great opening hand for Jack. Astrabit, probably if I'm looking at my deck and I'm thinking, is there what card do I want to see to play first in the game? It is Astrabit. I don't know if there's another Elestral that is better to play on the first turn than Astrabit is. I don't think there is, actually. I don't think there is. Nimbug, maybe? I think it's Astrabit is the best card to play on turn 1. That's a really good start. The reason why is 5 defense is about the high of 1-drop Elestrals. Mustation is the exception. But 5 defense is very, very strong because there's no one-drop Elestrals that have more than 5 attack. So you can generally force an opponent to have to do something with that. They're going to have to, they're going to have to Earthquake you or whatever. And you get to draw a card, basically. You get to look at the top 3. Even better than draw a card. You look at the top 3 and then pick one and add it to your hand. Now, here's where the Bag of Winds comes in. This is going to give it +2 defense, and Astrabit cannot be targeted by runes, which means that you cannot Earthquake this Astrabit. This Astrabit is safe. It is sitting here, and it cannot be destroyed by an Earthquake or a Resting on Your Laurels or any of that. Elechick does come out. We're going to see it grab the Zeus. Zeus plus Elechick does not knock out Astrabit either. So this is a really cool play. And Bag of Winds is a card that I have yet to really see teched in. So smart plays here from Jack in this adjusted format, understanding that there's going to be a lot of removal. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if both these casters are running, 3 Laurels, 3 Earthquakes, etc. So preventing that from being a problem right now means Astrabit gets to sit here. And it makes me wonder, how does Weathercaster get over this Astrabit, actually? One idea is double Zeus. Wait, you can't be targeted by runes. Zeus targets. You can't even Zeus it, dude. You can't even Zeus it. Altar of Stars doesn't target those, so if you have Altar of Stars, you can alter the Astrabit into attack position. So I think that there's some options here. It's not like a full-on lockdown yet. If you're Weathercaster, there are options. But man, oh man. This, I tell you what, this Bag of Winds, man, I love it. I love it. You don't see that. You don't see this rune. Tsunami gonna swap Elechick to defense. Going for the offensive Tsunami here. And is there gonna be a follow-up? You could attack with the Rabbit. Let's see here. Aeolus comes out. That means that you get to destroy a rune if the Astrabit destroys something because of Bag of Winds' second effect. That could be pretty nuts. Bag of Winds, dude. I love it. Let's see what he grabs. Do you grab P-Gus here? You P-Gus the Zeus? Are we going to P-Gus the Zeus right now? Tell me we're going to P-Gus the Zeus. We're going to P-Gus the Zeus! Oh my goodness. We're gonna P-Gus the Zeus, baby. This is a pretty big meme in Elestrals, and the reason why is one of the strongest cards in the game is called Voltempest. Voltempest, when paired with Zeus on the field, cannot be targeted. So because of that, or cannot be impacted by opponents' Elestral or card effects, target effects. So because of that, there's a joke that you just P-Gus the Zeus, right? You just pop the Zeus with a P-Gus. So here's the situation. Good play here from Jack. They do have the Altar of Stars. That makes sense. That was what they thought they were going to do, but they're forced to use it right now, which means they're going to have to put their Elechick into attack position here, I think. This is going to be interesting. So we're going to see the Nexus. The Zeus is still gone, but he saves some of the spirits from the Zeus. He used one spirit from Zeus to play the altar. He Nexus one of the spirits over to the Elechick. So Jack makes the most of, or Weathercaster rather, makes the most of that. You know, the fact that the PGS is a bit of a problem here. And kind of pulls himself back. So good play there from Weathercaster. Jack trying to gain an advantage, but he's not going to be able to do anything here. So if you're Weathercaster, you got to feel good about that play. You lost your Zeus, but it could have been much worse. Could have been much worse. Here comes a resting on your laurels. That checks out. The P-Gust is going to be gone here. You can't target the rabbit. You got to go after the P-Gust. I don't know if Weathercaster realizes that. You have to take out the P-Gust. I got to double check the effect text on laurels here. Yeah, you got to target and destroy the opponent's Elestral. You cannot target and destroy Astrabit. So it's got to be the P-Gust. I'm assuming they're discussing here with the judge about how this is going to play out, but Astrabit is protected by Bag of Winds, which tells me that the Laurels has to hit the P-Gust, and I don't think Weathercaster realized that maybe, or they did and just wanted to get rid of the P-Gust. I don't know, because you still got to deal with that Astrabit. That's the issue here. And here comes Sparkit. Oh, man. You thought you had a hand. It's very intentional, Yugi. If you didn't notice, our Divine Runes are actually the Greek gods. So currently in the game, we have 5 Divine Runes available, and the 6th one is announced. Poseidon, Zeus, Demeter, Hephaestus, Aeolus, and the Frost Divine is Kione. Bag of Winds is crazy good. This Bag of Winds popping off right now. Actually shutting the entire strategy down. And now Hydrake hits the field. What a top deck for JacKyomu. Hydrake, the perfect fit. Does Weather have an answer? He doesn't. Hydrake, you cut off his head. Here comes Twindra. Twindra is going to hit the field, and he's going to run over the Sparkit. Oh, my goodness. This is huge. Does Caster have an answer? Now, just because that happened, that doesn't mean that Caster doesn't have an answer. We might see a big shield here. We might see a Shield of Achilles. Don't write it off yet. Is there an answer? No! Oh my gosh, Twindra takes out the Sparkit. We got a full field flip. Huge plays there from JacKyomu, getting the Hydrate to the field, crushing him, and then throwing down. Twindra is out. Let's see what we got next. Oh my goodness. What do we got next? Does Weathercaster have an answer is the question. This is going to be really interesting here. Oh man. That's Twindra, dude. I just find it so impressive that this Astrabit can sit on the field and legitimately Caster cannot do anything to the Astrabit right now. I don't even know what the play is. Like, you basically need to get rid of the Bag of Winds somehow. Oh my goodness. This is a really tough spot to be in. The Earthquake is big though. Earthquake is going to get rid of the Twindra. That at least gets rid of that threat. But the problem is, how do you get rid of Astrabit? If you're Weathercaster, I don't know if his deck even has anything to get rid of it. Altar of Stars was the card he needed, but he used it earlier. He's going to need some sort of removal. He needs a Thunderstorm, which I think we saw in the last game. Was that the game we saw the Thunderstorm? He may have it. He's going to need something. Astrabit gets enchanted again. That's going to activate its receive effect. You can't even Gorgons it. Oh my, guys, I'm blown away, right? I got to tell you, I don't think I've seen Bag of Winds see competitive play this entire time. I don't think I've seen it yet. And here we are today, Bag of Winds, fortifying the defenses of JacKyomu as he starts to rack up a good hand here. He's going to pass turn. What do you do if... I don't even know what Weather's out is. Sorlet, if he has it? What do you do? You got a 7 defense rabbit in front of you. You cannot target with your runes. He's gonna have to expend the draw. At some point, this S-Rabbit is just gonna attack for so much. Oh my gosh, he passes to Jack. This is crazy, dude. What a wild turn of events. Another rabbit. Another rabbit, silly wabbit. Oh man, he's gonna be able to grab another card from his deck. He's just racking up the card advantage. We might be going to a game 3 here pretty soon if Weathercaster can't figure out how to get rid of these rabbits. Oh my goodness. JacKyomu with the biggest brain of all time in the deck building this week. You gotta love it. And again, I cannot emphasize enough how much Bag of Winds has simply just been written off as not a viable artifact. Like, I don't see anyone playing it. No one runs Bag of Winds. And here we are. I can tell you, there's one guy who plays, I don't know his name right now, I can't think of it, but he was running this deck with like Hephaestus, Sonic Bag of Winds, and he was shredding me every time I played him. So that guy had it figured out. Oh my gosh, I'm just mind blown right now. One thing to note from a kind of an analytical standpoint, both these casters have 7 spirits, right? 7 spirits left. Ooh, the Helios Chariot Ride. That tells me there's a Viscerous coming out. That tells me there might be a Viscerous coming out. Jack says, please wait, thinking about this. So what I was gonna say is both these casters had 7 spirits, but Jack has an extra 6 on field. So while it's 7 to 7, it's really like 13 to 7 in a way, right? So you can see obviously Jack has a pretty strong field in front of us. But the Helios Chariot Ride is gonna prevent Jack from using any runes this turn. That doesn't invalidate the Bag of Winds, but it prevents him from chaining. And here is the Thunderstorm, huge! Finally getting rid of the Bag of Winds, but at what cost? Only 3 spirits left. If you're Weathercaster, you need Viscerous right now. Does he have it? Resting on your laurels, he's gonna clear 1 rabbit. Tell him he's got 2 rabbits, dude. Tell me he's got 2 laurels here that he's been holding on to. And he's gonna drop another laurels, bringing himself down to 1 spirit. Ambrosia, okay. This is very interesting. This is a crazy clash right now. Oh man, can Weathercaster pull this one back, dude? Elechick can bring you Zeus, which can hit over the rabbit. There's a chance. There's a chance, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna break the Bag of Winds lock. He finally breaks the Bag of Winds lock here. The Zeus is gonna be able to target the rabbit, bring it down, bring its defense down to 2, and then Elechick can hit over it and destroy it. We're not out of the woods yet, though. JacKyomu is a high drink away from winning this one anyway. So let's see here. Woo, baby. Oh, man. Jack has an opportunity to go on the offensive. 7 spirits left, 1 on the Aeolus. Exaltair wins the game. Here comes an Ambrosia. So we're not going to see the Exaltair. We'll see the Ambrosia off the Aeolus. We may see a second Aeolus hit the field. Like I said, Aeolus plus Exaltair wins. Sorlet probably wins. Hydrake probably wins. There's a lot of ways for Jack to win this one with 10 spirits right now. If you're Weathercaster, you're just kind of holding on and probably waiting for a game 3. Let's see here. Resting on your laurels, that's gonna do it. Laurels does pop the Elechick. You see Jack, galaxy-sized brain, using the spirit on his Aeolus to cast the Ambrosia, make it so he has 0 spirits on field, then he can play the laurels, which means that the opponent has 2 spirits and you have none. Laurels works. Sorla hits the field. There are very few things that caster can do here to save himself. He would need a Tsunami plus an Ambrosia on the next turn off the Zeus plus a cast. He doesn't have it. He's going to go for the top deck of the Ambrosia here. There is still a chance that Weather can stay in this. He needs an Ambrosia. He would have to use the Zeus spirit to play the Ambrosia. I don't think he got it. Nope, that's going to be game. We're going 1-1. We're going to game 3 here in our semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. And let's jump in. And let's have ourselves a phenomenal game 3. I'm so excited, man. What a special treat. I can't express how appreciative I am of all these people playing Elestrals, man. It's so hype. And we're going to kick this one off. Weathercaster starting off with a Nectar of the Gods. You love that. We've seen a lot of Nog. You can get your Stellar Nog. By the way, the winner of the tournament is going to get one of these. These are only available for pre-order right now, but I've got a Stellar Nog in my hand. Very hype. Seen a lot of Nogs today. Some good Nogs. Getting some good draw power here. And Toxion hits the field. That's going to burn for 1 against JacKyomu. Toxion is an Elestral that we've seen a lot of use. It fits so nicely into that Thunder Nexus package. Every time you cast it, you're just hitting for one spirit of damage. Every time you enchant it with a Thunder Spirit, you're hitting for another damage. It may not seem like much, but it turns into a very big positive, because now if you're Jack and you got to Earthquake it, it basically costs you, 3 spirits to deal with that, to deal with the Toxion versus the 1 spirit it took to cast it. So it's very, very cool how that kind of works in terms of gaining advantages. Now, we may see some different stuff, by the way. These casters, they had the opportunity to side deck. Here's the Earthquake, exactly what I said. I feel like I have ESPN or something. So ultimately, while Jack does get the momentum here by Earthquaking the Toxion, he's down 3 spirits to get rid of that Toxion, essentially, right? That's where these small, minute details can make the difference over the course of the 20 spirits in a clash. Here comes Elechick. That's going to get him his Divine Rune. Most certainly going to be the A-list, but no. We see the Gorgon's Gaze, a play you don't see too often here. Gorgon's Gazing and Elechick prevents it from searching the Divine Rune. Jack's deck really relies on that A-list to be able to get pieces like Hydrake. It's a relatively good exchange for caster here, because Gorgon's Gaze is going to cost you 2 spirits. It's going to prevent the search, and you were going to probably take 1 spirit of damage anyway from the direct attack. So it's really only a net negative of 1 spirit from where you would have been, and it's a huge advantage momentum play here, right? I hate using my Gorgons in those situations, especially in a format like this where you only get 1 of them, but it could be huge. So he's going to just throw away a Zeus. He's going to just use it 1 time. They're abbreviating their plays, but he casts a Zeus, disenchants it, drops the attack of Elechick. His Elechick attacks the other Elechick and destroys it. These casters have played so much that, they're abbreviating plays for the purposes of saving their own time. And they're also talking to each other in a voice chat. So they're able to abbreviate that stuff, but that was what the play there was. So Elechick is now on the field. Jack looking for answers here, diving into his hand. He's got 3 cards in hand, 2 on field. Can't play a Laurels here. This is where these casters are making really smart plays. Weathercaster knew, I do not want to overload my Zeus. Here comes a Water Enchanted Sorlet. You might be saying to yourself, why would you Water Enchant a Sorlet? In Elestrals, you can misenchant your Elestrals, and it means that they don't have any effects. But in this case, by using a Water Spirit on a Sorlet, it makes it so Weathercaster cannot use Tsunami to change its position. So a huge play overall. Here comes Viscerus, though. This could be the play that you're looking for. Zeus comes down, another Zeus out of his hand. He's going to enchant the Zeus up to 2, which means he's going to drop the attack of the Sorlet down to 2 and allow Viscerus to attack over it. Does Jack have a face-down rune answer? This is going to be big. He does! The Shield of Achilles is going to delay that Viscerus for at least another turn and force it back to his hand. A huge play from Jack, because not only do you bounce the Viscerus back, you prevent it from getting its effect, you save your Sorlet, and you make him waste that Zeus expend, which is huge. So a really well-timed Shield of Achilles there for JacKyomu, as his Sorlet is poised to hit the Spirit deck again. Here comes Elechick. That's going to give another Divine Surge, another chance. There's no more Gorgon's Gaze. Will we see a Pandora's Box this time to shut it down? I'm going to assume no. And Aeolus does have an opportunity to hit the field. If you're Jack, I think you hold the Aeolus unless you have Altar of Stars. You probably wait on using it. But now you have a window of opportunity to get yourself either your Hydrake, your P-Gust, or your Exaltair to put on a ton of pressure as we head towards this late game of this clash. Sorlet and Elechick are going to hit directly. That's going to bring Weather down to just 8 spirits. We know he's got the Viscerus. That's going to be the big difference maker here. Can Viscerus get that hit off into the Elechick, and then can it get the extra Viscerus out onto the field? And then you have to do even more than that. You have to prevent the damage, but this signs that there's a resting on your laurels coming into play. The Zeus hits the Sorlet, bringing it down to 2 attack. Almost guaranteed that we're going to see a Laurels next to take out the Elechick. Let's wait and see it. No Laurels. Interesting. Opting to go for the Zeus before the cast, I guess, which is fine. And we're going to see if this Viscerus is able to connect. It is. Sorlet does go down. Viscerus can activate its effect. It's going to be able to bring out a second Viscerus into defense position, which is so big, right? Such a huge cast here, because those Viscerus power each other up. So now, both Viscerus are sitting at 6 attack instead of 5. So that's going to make it even harder to deal with. Jack's in a position where he's going to start to pressure, probably with that Aeolus. I think we're going to see the Hydrake play here. Now we're going to see another Sorlet, this one properly enchanted. This is going to come down to, does Weathercaster have an answer? Is there a tsunami now, right? That would be huge if there was a tsunami this time. The position change effect from Sorlet, he's going to expend a spirit. If Caster has a tsunami, this would be detrimental to Jack. Let's find out right now. Here comes the attack into the Viserys. No response. Weathercaster pinned against a wall. Elachik and Sorlet are going to clear both Viserys from the field. And now Caster's down to just 6 spirits, facing down 2 Elestrals. He needs a Laurels and an Earthquake real bad. Here comes an Astrabbit. That could be the comeback that he needs. If there's no Gorgon's Gaze, he's going to be able to look at the top 3 of his deck and grab a card. That could be the counter rune he needs to keep him in this clash. Again, wait, looks like he's maybe thinking about this. Is he not going to cast the rabbit? He's going to change his play, perhaps. Looks like we're doing a little rewinding here. Generally, at this stage of Elestrals, most people, myself included when I play, I always let people rewind. I say, you know what, it's all good, no big deal. We're all just doing our best here. They're going to allow the rewind, of course, no problem. The Laurels does come off. Gonna clear the Sorlet, very smart play. Now you cast the Astrabbit. So obviously you can't play the Laurels until if you have the rabbit on the field. So a little bit of backwards there. Jack's a good sport. I don't think there's any issues there. Like I said, I would always allow it myself. You know, people are just doing the best they can as we're all learning the game and trying to do our best. So we see the rabbit get to grab that card he wants. No more face down runes though. Does Jack have an answer? We know he's got the Aelys and the Exalter potential search here. I mean, you could easily just make that play, burn for 2, and continue to reduce the resources for Caster. That may be the answer for Jack. It's a big all-in play. You could also go Hydrake. Let's find out. We haven't seen a ton of Ascensions, so that 5 defensive Astrabbit is probably going to hold it down. Aelys does come onto the field. What will Jack search? I gotta believe he's going Exalter. No, he's only going 2 Aelys, so he's going Sorlet then. He's got to be going Sorlet. This is the cheaper of the options in terms of strategies. By going Sorlet, you're only spending the 2 on Aelys, the 1 to cast Sorlet and 1 to use his effect. It's a little bit safer than going the Exalter play where you're kind of investing a lot more spirits onto the field for an Elestral that's not as strong. So let's see here. If this attack goes through, it's going to be very difficult for Caster to mount a comeback here. The rabbit does go down. The Elachik's going to hit directly. Caster's going to be down to just 3 spirits left. It seems like we're having deja vu, the same scenario faced in front of him, Sorlet and Elachik. This is why Wind has been so strong in the format. We've seen Wind kind of come and go in terms of placement, but having Aelys guarantee out your search, and another mirror play resting on your Laurel is going to pop the Sorlet this time as well. So Caster continues to hang on by just a tiny little thread. Let's see what he's got going on here. Elachik, the mirror match, he's going to be able to search out a Zeus. But the problem is you really don't want to use that spirit right now because you only down to 1. You need an Ambrosia real bad. Is there going to be an Ambrosia here? Let's find out. Tommy, thank you very much for the sub love. Weathercaster, looks like they might be diving into their deck to grab a Divine. Tough decisions ahead. Whew. No, not gonna do anything. Just gonna pass. Just gonna pass it. Gonna let him do his thing. Here comes Viserys. Oh man, this might seal the deal. What's up, Bex? Jack sets another face down. If this Viserys connects, this one is over. Viserys hits the Elachik. Elachik goes down. Elachik attacks directly. And Weathercaster is gonna be left with 0 spirits in their spirit deck, which means that they will have no plays left. Volt Tempest, Zeus, and Circle the Sky. Unfortunately, in this limited counter rune format, not able to get enough of a field presence to be able to make that happen. So close. All Caster needed was to just keep 1 Thunder Elestral on the field for just a little longer, and they might have been able to pull that off. But JacKyomu is going to the finals of this Elestrals tournament, the first of the year. Congratulations, Jack. Congratulations, you two, for making it this far.
Thank you.
Very excited. I am going to be streaming your finals as usual. I'm going to throw out a small disclaimer that I am watching my son right now, and if he wakes up from his nap, I'm going to have to go. So hopefully he's going to sleep. So I hope you guys play swiftly.
Okay.
He's
want
usually a
us to
safe
pause?
bet to sleep until 3. So we got 45 minutes. I think we're gonna be all right.
All right.
But if I just vanish, don't get mad at me. All right.
No problem.
All right. I will wait for the host, and you guys are ready to rock whenever your side deck, unside deck is complete. And I hope you guys have fun. So we're gonna get through this best of 3, and we're gonna have a good time. It was a crazy day. My wife is actually at a birthday party for my daughter. My daughter's got a birthday party with another kid, and she was gonna bring my son, which is right during his nap time, which is always tough. If you've had little kids, you know it's tough when you miss the naps and stuff. So it was during his nap time, and then kind of more importantly, whatchamacallit, we gotta flip the layout here. More importantly, it wasn't the kind of birthday party that bringing a 1-year-old to was gonna be the best, because it's an ice skating birthday party, and like it would have been really hard for my wife to watch my son and watch my daughter at the same time. So I was like, just keep him home, put him down for a nap, and he's gonna sleep through it, I believe. So I unfortunately, you know, it's the weekend. I'm a dad, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. So, you know. All right, let's kick off this finals clash here. JacKyomu, Spicy Sausage, a little bit of wind here. You're gonna feel the gentle breeze of Aeolus and the bag of winds. I'm gonna flip this layout around and let's get this party started. Let's go to the Aeolia battle theme. And we're gonna see JacKyomu go for the mulligan on turn 1. A little sad if you're starting things off to have the mulligan. That means he's gotta expend 2 spirits to get a new hand. He gets that new hand. He gets his Sorlet out there. He also got the Nectar of the Gods. Oh, he didn't get the Nectar of the Gods. I'm sorry, that was the mulligan. So he does get his Sorlet out there, and now he's pressuring with Sorlet. If you're Sausage, you gotta be feeling good though. You're already up, you know, 2 spirits from the mulligan, so that's a good start for you. And we'll see what he has to respond. Nectar of the Gods. So he gets to spend those 2 spirits in a way that's gonna gain him some card advantage. So with no back row, you got a lot of opportunities here, and Earthquake's really clutch. You've got the opportunity to go Viscerous, Crash. A lot of things you can do here if you're Sausage, depending on your hand. We're gonna see a simple set on the face down, and we're gonna see another set, and let's see, we're gonna see a Hydrake. Oh, he can go full Penterror mode. I feel like you go for it. You're in the finals, do it. Hydrake's gonna crash into Sorlet. That's gonna bring out Twindra. Twindra's gonna crash into Sorlet. That's gonna bring out Penterror. He's gonna hit directly. This is gonna turn into 4 spirits of damage on JacKyomu when all is said and done, and we're gonna see the 5-headed dragon Penterror hit the field. The strongest Elestral in the game. We're seeing it on turn 2 here from Spicy Sausage. I love it. What a way to kick off the finals. Twindra hits the Sorlet. We're going right out in Penterror. This is perfect. If you're Sausage, you gotta be feeling good right now. You gotta be feeling good. Obviously, you're very susceptible to an Earthquake or a Laurels or any of that, right? Like, there was all the chance in the world that JacKyomu was about to destroy this Penterror on the next turn. I have 0 doubts. This Penterror is not going to live for very long. But it's here, and it's dealing damage. And if for some reason Jack does not have an answer to it, oh man, if you let that Penterror sit there for another turn, that could be very detrimental. Penterror is going to hit for 3 spirits directly, bringing Jack down to 13 spirits right away. This is going to be a fast one, it seems. Does Jack have the Earthquake or the Resting on Your Laurels? He's probably running 3 of each. 6 out of the 40 cards. Is one of them in his hand? Let's find out. Does he? I mean, he's got the Laurels. Of course he does. Of course he has the Laurels. I told you there was no way that Penterror was going to stay for much longer. I think Sausage made the right play though, right? Like, I feel like you go aggro, you get your Penterror out, you go for it, and we're going to see the Penterror go down. And don't forget, Penterror does get to use its effect. Penterror does get to use its effect. I feel like we never see this. Like, I can't think of the last time I saw Penterror get its effect off. You get to cast any number of Hydrake or Twindra from your hand or deck to the field when Penterror goes down from a card effect. So that gave Sausage 2 free Hydrakes that are misenchanted. I'm surprised he went misenchanted on both. But that's just fodder for Viscerous. Oh, man. This has already been a crazy clash, guys. Can we talk about how crazy this has been? Is there a counter response for Sausage? No! The Hydrake goes down. Viscerous going to activate its effect and get another Viscerous out. What a flip game already. Flip-flop, baby. Woo! I love it. I love me some top-tier Elestrals. My goodness. Guys, I don't know if I've ever seen Penterror's effect actually go off, dude. And here comes an Earthquake. An Earthquake's gonna pop the attack position Viscerus, and now Hydrake has an opportunity to push forward here. Oh, baby. Oh, it just dawned on me why he misenchanted. He probably only has one Twinger and one Penterror in his deck, so there was no reason to properly enchant. And he may actually be out of Wind Spirits in general as well, which is why he's misenchanting his Sorlet here with Thunder. So, or he could potentially be setting up for a Volt Tempest, although I guess he would just use Wind there anyway. Here comes a Tsunami, perfectly timed by JacKyomu. That's probably why. He doesn't have another Twinger or Penterror, so there would be no reason to properly enchant the Hydrakes. Tsunami is so big because it's going to save the Viscerus and give him an opportunity to put some pressure on. Yo, Mud Turtle, join our Discord, man. Discord.gg/Elestrals. Come join the fun, man. We're just getting into the good stuff. Our first edition is going to launch in March. The pre-orders are open right now. It's going to be an amazing year. We found another Stellar Penterror. Really? Someone pulled a Stellar Penterror? We're going to see the Expend to draw. That's going to be starting in Frostfall, Jubilant. And it's going to be 3 packs. So starting Frostfall, our starter decks are going to have 3 packs in them. It's going to be amazing. Viscerus sitting here. If there's no counter pressure from Spicy, this Viscerus can wreak havoc. It's going to hit the Sorlet. He's going to get another one out. Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you very much, Mud. I appreciate that. That's amazing. Penterror number 3. I think is that 3 or 4? That might be 4, actually, Tailwinds. Because there was one that was pulled and it was sold. Another one was pulled and sold. Aspira pulled a 3rd one, so I think this is actually number 4. I think this is the 4th one. I feel like there's a decent chance I have one. I have like 60 or so Kickstarter boxes in my closet still. I feel like I might have one, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't check or anything, right? Like, I feel like there's a chance. Oh, it's number 3. Okay, number 3. I actually do wonder if I have one. That'd be really wild. We're going to see the Sorlet get cast out. He's going to use Sorlet's effect to change the position of the Viscerus. And this is a chance to flip the field again. Does Jack have another counter rune? This is going to be big. If Jack doesn't have a counter rune, this field is flipping again. Let's see. He's thinking about it. Is there a shield? Is there a Gorgons? No more Tsunamis. Oh, man. This is going to be interesting. What could that rune be? Shield? I'm actually very interested. Altar of Stars. So going to change the... This is huge brain. Okay, so here's the deal. When you're an attack step in Elestrals, and the position of an Elestral changes like it is right now, the Viscerus actually changes to attack position while the Hydrake attack is still happening. So the Hydrake ends up running into the Viscerus and knocking itself out, and then he actually has to take a Spirit of Damage. So Altar of Star is probably my favorite, battle tech in the game, and it's huge right there, and it pays dividends. Actually flipping it back around, and here comes a Hydrake of his own. Oh my god. Guys, look at this. The back and forth is so real, man. This game has gone back and forth the entire time. This is Elestrals for you, ladies and gentlemen. What an exciting clash already. Viscerus, Hydrake. Here comes the Viscerus going for the crash into the Sorlet. If this connects, then Spicy takes a Spirit of Damage, and both Viscerus and Sorlet go down. We're going to see exactly that. And now the Hydrake can pressure as well and hit for one more. That's going to bring Sausage down to just 1 Spirit left. There may be an answer here. Does he have a shield? No, he's going to take the hit. If you're Sausage, you're really looking for an Ambrosia and removal, and a Elestral. You really need all 3 right now, right? You need like an Earthquake, an Ambrosia. You really don't want to proc the Hydrake effect. So here comes that Stravit. That's really good, but he doesn't have any Thunder Spirits. Misenchanting the Sorlet earlier with Thunder is going to crush him a little bit here because he doesn't have a Thunder Spirit for his Rabbit anymore. Oh my gosh. Now, I will say this. There is some Galaxy Brain here from Sausage that may come into play. Oh, Exaltair is going to win the game anyway. It doesn't matter. But what I was going to say is if you misenchant the Astravit with Wind, you prevent the Sorlet from changing its position. And that may be the decision here. That you may have another Thunder Spirit, but that's what it's going to be. JacKyomu hits the field with Exaltair. SpicySausage can't stop this. The only card that stops this right now is Gorgon's Gaze. But if he uses Gorgon's Gaze, he loses the game anyway. So it does look like Jack's going to win this one here with the Exaltair. We're going to get a reveal. Pandora's Box. Laurels. He has the Gorgons, but he can't play it. And an Elechic. and that's going to be GG. JacKyomu wins game 1 here of the finals. What a crazy clash. Can we talk about that one? We saw Penterror hit the field turn 2. And then we saw a back and forth, the tsunami from Jack saving him. Then we saw the field flip, the Viscerous come out, stopping the Viscerous. Then we saw the Sorlet plays. What a crazy back and forth that clash was. JacKyomu walks away with that one and is up 1-0 as we're going to head to game 2 here in this best of 3 finals. These casters have an opportunity to dig into their side decks and grab something. And a reminder to you guys, the winner today is going to get a Penterror uncut sheet and a Stellar Nectar of the Gods and Stellar Ambrosia blister pack, which are unavailable right now. Only going to be available for first edition if you pre-order right now. Shop Elestrals.com. Don't miss out on those pre-orders. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be very hype. But that is huge, man. Mega plays there. JacKyomu has already won one of these uncut sheets, by the way, so looking to get another one. And the only way to get those sheets is to win a giveaway or to win a tournament. And I've only done 2 giveaways. The other ones have been through tournaments. So this is big. Let's get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Nectar of the Gods for Sausage, baby. There we go. There we go. Getting that nog. Getting to drink a little nog. Here comes the Elechick. Gonna search out that Zeus. Exactly what you're looking for if you're Sausage. I think if... Oh, he's going A-list, actually. Sorry, not Zeus. Going A-list. So that's gonna give him the win plays later on. We're gonna see a couple runes face down. And here comes Jack drawing a card. Let's see it. Let's see it. JacKyomu gonna kick off his first turn of game 2 here. Elechick, the mirror chicks here, gonna be able to search out an Aeolus himself. No Gorgon's Gaze, it seems. No Pandora's Box. All right. We're gonna see... We do see the Gorgon's Gaze, actually. Gorgon's Gaze is going to shut down that search and prevent the attack. Very nice. He's going to draw a card. Let's see here. This is an opportunity for Sausage to gain some big momentum if he can get like a Viscerous onto the field or something. It's always tough. Again, in this limited format, you only have 1 Gorgon's Gaze, so you really got to make a tough choice there. Looks like he went for the early Gorgons to prevent the Aeolus, which I do like. He's got his own Aeolus, so you could really do some big things here. I think you probably grab Sorlet. You could grab Exaltair. If your back row is good, you could grab Exaltair, but I think you're gonna just grab the the Sorlet here, just for the clean attack. No! I stand corrected. Hydrake, baby. Hydrake means he gets Twindra even better. Even better. Because Hydrake can now crash into Elechick, get Twindra out, and then you're hitting for 3 damage. Very good play from Sausage. I forgot about the Hydrake. Even though we saw Penterror last game, he's going to get the Twindra out. No problemo. Jack does have 5 cards in hand. This is anything but over. And if you notice the Spirit differential, you know, he's going to be sitting at 16 to 12. So still a really good opportunity here. But here comes Twindra. I don't know why he grabbed Laurels by accident. Must have misclicked that. No problem. Here comes the Twindra. 2 Spirits. Gonna be able to hit for 3 here. Elechick and Twindra dealing damage to Jack. Now, does Jack have the Earthquake? The Viscerous could also work. You don't want to attack the Twindra, right? Because you don't want that Penterror to come out. Let's see it. What do we got here? JacKyomu debating his play. It's going to be an Astraba into defense. Okay. I love it. You know you're not going to get Gorgons here, so you know you're getting that draw. Probably searching out. A Poison Tipped Arrow could be pretty bad, though. Poison Tipped Arrow means that Rabbit is not going to be able to hold the defense. It means it's gone at the end of the turn. Let's see here. He's going to look at the top 3. Probably fishing for an Earthquake here. Maybe a tsunami. Something to kind of hold them back. This is where Rabbit's so good. It just having the opportunity to look at your deck and grab one of the cards in the top 3 is just so powerful. So powerful. Let's see what we got here. Thinking about it, thinking about it. He made his decision. Alright, let's see what we got now. Jack making his choices, gonna start setting some face down runes. I think only one, but they might be counting Elestrals, Jai. And here comes the Laurels. Laurels is gonna get rid of the Elechick at least. So that's good. I'm gonna get rid of the Elechick. But you still gotta deal with the Twindra. Maybe on the next turn. PTA is gonna get rid of the Astrabbit at the end of the turn. If you're Jack, you really gotta hope you have a Shield of Achilles or something. Here comes a Pigas. That's gonna get rid of the face down. What was it? What is it? It's a PTA. This is a smart PTA, and the reason why it's smart is because PTA drops the attack of an Elestral by 2, so it makes it so Pigas is going to have 0 attack, so it deals 0 damage. So this ends up only being a net difference of 1 spirit for Jack, and he was going to lose the PTA anyway, right? So you're going to pay 2 for the PTA, but you're negating 1 from the Pigas attack and getting rid of it off the field. So it's not a bad trade if you're Jack. Like, that's probably one of the better scenarios to have Pigas hit the field and pop your rune, is to have it be PTA to deal with it. Because now if you're Jack, you're a Laurels or an Earthquake away from, like, completely flipping this field again. So 2 hits here. Pigas is going to go down. Pigas is going to go down here at the end phase. And now it's going to come down to, does Jack draw into his removal? Laurels or EQ gets rid of Twindra here, and it completely flips this game back. It's going to be Astrabbit again. So that's, again, not bad at all if you're Jack, because the key here is you just don't want to end up in a situation where you have an attack position Elestral that allows Twindra to go into Penterror, right? And Astrabbit sitting at 5 defense means that Twindra's 5 attack is not going to hit over it. So, all in all, one of the better cards you can get, and again, it gives him another chance to look at the top 3 and grab that EQ or that Laurels or whatever he's hoping to grab, right? Or a Tsunami or whatever it may be. That's another good chance at grabbing EQ. So let's see if he has it. So far, no plays on that one. May just set some back row and pass. He's just gonna pass. So if you're Sausage, you gotta be hoping for your Sorlet. This is your chance. He's got his own Earthquake, actually. Earthquake gonna clear that Rabbit once again and open the field for Twindra. Here's where things get really scary, though, because if Sausage is able to pull off a combo with, like, an Exalter Aeolus, he can do a lot of damage. He actually has the Sorlet. Interesting. So I have an interesting commentary here. I think, while I can understand the opportunity here to now hit for 3 directly, I think there's a case to be made that you save the Earthquake, and rather, you use Sorlet's effect to change Astrabbit to attack, and you just attack that and knock it out. So that way you still have Earthquake for whatever Jack may have next, right? You know, again, Monday morning quarterback. It's easy for me to make that call when I don't have the full context. But I will say, I tend to think that saving the Earthquake there makes a little bit more sense, but we'll see what happens. Jack is going to respond down to just 4 spirits left. Viscerous hits the field. He's going to disenchant the Viscerous, use its effect, probably target down Sorlet, and try to get Viscerous to pop off against that Sorlet right now. Let's see if that's what he does. The real key, excuse me, is does Jack have any back row? Because if he doesn't have any back row, he cannot stop the Twindra. Like, Twindra goes into Penterror very easily, and it's going to win the game. So, whew. Let's see what we got here. Ambrosia It's going to give him a little bit more love. Kind of keep him in this one. Get him back up to 6 spirits. He obviously can take out the Sorlet. But again, the Twindra is the problem because then Twindra, while it can't attack the attack position Viscera, it can actually. It can. You just crash your Twindra, get your Penterror out. He is going to go after the Sorlet. He's going to do it. So now Viscerus can come out. That means that Viscerus has 6 attack. Which means that Twindra can crash into it and get Penterror out and then take out the Viscerus and deal 2 spirits of damage. I don't know what... If you're Jack, you got to be feeling like you're just missing on your counters right now. We might be going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be close, but it certainly looks like Sausage may have the advantage right now because he's going to be able to get out his Penterror. Unless that is Jack's plan all along, right? I doubt it. Like, I feel like if you have EQ, you play it. Strabit's big here too, right? Like, that's so big. Because that almost, like, guarantees that you can make it another turn. No matter what happens here with Penterror. But I think if you're Sausage, you're just crashing your Twindra, getting Penterror out, and then taking out the Viscerus. You're dealing 2. It's going to be hard to come back from. Let's see it. Oh, man, this is going to be so close. But that's the thing. When you invest all that into Penterror, you're going to be down to so few spirits left. There's an argument to be made that you can go after the defense one. I feel like you just pressure out the Penterror, though. Like, I feel like I would. Let's see if he goes for it. That S-Rabbit's big, though, because he could have just fortified his back row with a potential counter. He's going for it. I think this is the play. I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing here. I think getting out of Penterror here, pressuring, you're dealing 2 spirits of damage. Yeah, you're down to 2 spirits yourself. That's the only caveat, right? Is like you only have 2 spirits left. If Jack busts out an eruption right now, I'm gonna lose my mind. By the way, I'm gonna lose my mind. The reason why, again, we're discussing this play here and deciding whether or not it's the optimal play. You know, Spicy has to extend out a little bit more. He could be at 5 spirits right now and be in a similar position to where he is right now, in terms of just like control. By doing this, you're forcing your opponent down to just 3 spirits, and you've got this massive Penterror on the field. But again, an eruption would be crazy. If he's side decking eruption, I would actually lose my mind right now. I don't think he is. I think he would have played it. I think you play it really quickly at this point if you have it. But if you're Jack, how do you get back in this one? Oh man, you really need I don't even know. What do you do? Altar of Stars, Carry On, Crash, Penterror, hit the hit the rabbit. I don't know. No one's running Carry On, dude. Oh man. P-Gust. Okay. He's gonna pop a rune. Tsunami, okay. Oh, man. Sausage looking good right now. He's got an opportunity to clear the Viscerus or the P-Gust, whichever he chooses. Jack might just be hoping there's a misstep somewhere along the way here. I don't know. We're hoping he goes into an Ambrosia so he can put some pressure on. This is going to be close. It certainly looks like Sausage is in a position where he can win this one, right? If you're Jack, you're forced. I mean, a Sorlet wins it too, right? Like Sorlet can hit the field and just win the game too, because it can change the position of the Viscerus and then Penterror wins. So there's a few ways that Sausage can just win right now. He's gonna go for the Nectar of the Gods, but he's gonna pull the Spirit from something on the field. He pulls 1 from the Rabbit, and then 1 from his Spirit deck. Whoo, baby. That's a late game nog if I've ever seen one. Nectar of the Gods is a card that is most certainly optimized, played early in the game, just because you have more to play with. You have more spirits. You can make the most of your hand. This late in the game, it's very hard to justify that card because you have so few resources. The things that you're going to draw, chances are you're not even going to be able to play at this point. Like, I would imagine half of Sausage's deck can't be played right now, right? Like, without sacrificing your Penterror to do it. So now you're in a position where, like, one Earthquake, you know, can win the game, right? Like, if Jack has Earthquake, he wins, you know? This is going to be really interesting. I mean, he's an Earthquake away from winning, guys. Like, Jack can easily flip this back open. I think, if anything, you just gave him a window to come back. I don't know. If Jack has Earthquake, this one's over. Maybe. Well, I guess he can still get the Hydrake out. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess he gets a Hydrake out, so never mind. It's not over. Laurels? Exalt! Oh! Oh my gosh! Exaltair hits the field! That is why you don't late game Nog! Exaltair can take the Spirit from P-Gust. If he had taken out the P-Gust instead of the Viscerus, this play doesn't exist. But because the P-Gust remains, Exaltair can Nexus off the P-Gust onto Exaltair and burn for 2, and Sausage does not have enough spirits to take the hit, and JacKyomu, unless there's some crazy face down here, it looks like Jack is gonna take this one and become the champion once again. Wow. It looked like Sausage had it, no doubt. But a little bit of a misstep there at the end, it seems. He needed to have that foresight to take out the P-Gust instead of the Viscerus. And that's game. Jack wins it. Jack is your champion. Wow. Wow. He did have the laurels, too. He did have the laurels. Wow. GG's, JacKyomu is your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Jack in an incredible finals. Wow. An incredible finals. JacKyomu on the back of Aeolus, on the back of Wind, in this unique format with only one of each counter rune allowed. JacKyomu asserts dominance again and wins 2-0 over SpicySausage. Here is your final 8, and a big congratulations again to JacKyomu for winning the Elestrals Digital Lab Championships, our first event of 2024, and our first event of hopefully many, many events to come. You can take a look at our upcoming championship schedule here. Next week, February 4th, is going to be our next event. It is a webcam tournament, and it'll be a best of 1, best of 3 top cut, as we've been doing. Constructed, no special rules, just standard constructed with physical cards. Then we're switching back to digital, webcam, digital, webcam. That's where we're at. Super excited to unveil the next few months roadmap for our tournaments. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to when these events were going to be taking place. So now we have a little bit of a roadmap for you guys. Big shout out to the team today for throwing down, holding it down. Big congratulations again to Jack for the win. Absolutely monumental. Super exciting. I actually just saw someone... Oh my god, guys. I have to throw this out there. I just happened to look that I was tagged in Discord. The guy who pulled the Stellar Penterror said, I found it while I was going through my box toppers and promos. I didn't realize what it was until I looked it up. Wow. That's actually hilarious. The guy has a Stellar Penterror and didn't even realize it. Congratulations again to Jack. I look forward to seeing you guys all competing in our next events. Super duper hype. Is his voice cutting out, or is it just me? I think it's just you. I think my voice is good. Wow. That was a great event and just overall awesome. Big shout out to the team. Thank you to our judges and our staff for holding it down today, as always. And a big shout out my son. Shout out to my son for holding it down as well. He slept the entire event. He's moving right now, but I think he's got a little bit of napping left in him. So that's going to be pretty sweet. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate y'all. The beginning of the Elestrals events this year. I'm so excited. I hope you guys appreciated or noticed a little bit more improved production value. We're trying to step it up a little bit. I'm gonna continue to move the needle there, and we're gonna continue to have more awesome events all year long. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna bounce out of here, but big shout outs to everybody for watching this one. Thank you for being a part of Elestrals. Don't forget to head over to shop Elestrals.com and pre-order first edition. You don't want to miss it. Get those pre-orders in if you have not done so yet. $50 or more USD pre-orders gets you the Stellar Galaxy. That is a huge pickup. You don't want to miss that. So head over to shopalestrals.com. And I will see you guys next time. Big shout outs to Jack. Again, congratulations winning the Uncut Sheep, the Stellar Nog, the Stellar Ambrosia Blisters. I'm going to get that shipped out over to Germany very soon. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to see you guys next time. Peace.